Consumer Reports just released its 2016 Auto Reliability Study at an Automotive Press Association meeting in Detroit. Let's take a listen.
Digital survey. It's not just about an engine problem, it's what kind of engine problem. And then once we know what kind of engine problem it is, we actually have the actual, in the owner's words, what happened in that car. So this year we're able to have deeper knowledge and information about what's going on, and we're able to make better predictions.
Lexus, Toyota, and Buick are the top 3 automotive brands, according to a new Consumer Reports study released today.
In first place, we have the Toyota Prius and the Lexus CT200H,
Okay.
both sharing hybrid technology from Toyota. Following that is the Infiniti Q70, which is from kind of the older Infiniti models, the Audi Q3, and then followed by the Lexus GX.
Okay.
So that's the top 5. So here is, for instance, a chart of midsize SUVs, and you could see there's quite the span. They're going from 18 to 88 for the best. They're also color-coded the same way, so red being much worse than average, the dark green being much better than average. With that, then, is we take all the manufacturers, all the brands, and combine them into a brand score. And there it is. Any questions? I guess we're done. Okay, so it may be a little hard to see, but you see it's color-coded. There's a reliable range. There's much for. All right, I won't do that anymore. Let's zoom in a little bit. So these are the most reliable, bringing in proven technology. Number 3. Perhaps the biggest surprise of the day is Buick. Buick has been doing quite well for many years. They've slowly improved. But number 3, I mean, we're talking number 3 of all brands. Not Honda, not Subaru, not Nissan, not Mazda. Buick, an American brand. And it's quite impressive. And actually, General Motors, I would say, really does deserve a lot of credit. They are making very reliable cars. I say cars. Their trucks have not been as good. The Silverado has been trouble-prone from the start, this latest generation of it, and there are many vehicles based on that platform. Everything from the Escalade to the Tahoe Suburban, and they have been consistently unreliable. So Buick does benefit from the fact that it does not have any of those truck-based SUVs in its lineup. It also benefits by the fact that the Buicks in the lineup are somewhat proven at this point. There's not a lot of fresh products. And among the fresh products in Buick, some of these are global products that have been proven overseas already. So some of the bugs have been worked out. Whatever the reasons, it's very impressive. Audi continues to be one of the top, and that's been several years now. I know when we first said Audi makes reliable cars, everyone was like, that's going to go back down. Well, it hasn't. Kia and Hyundai continue to make very good cars. And again, this year, I think we've said this story before, Kia continues to make a little bit better cars than Hyundai. And what we see consistently is that the car first comes out as a Hyundai, then there's a Kia version a year later, after, again, some of the bugs have been worked out. Going to the brands in the middle, we see some steady improvement from BMW, Mercedes-Benz, some of the luxury automakers. Honda and Subaru have taken a bit of a tumble. Honda went down a few. Subaru has gone down. I could attribute this to the Legacy and the Outback have both gone down to average. Traditionally, Subarus have all been very good. We've seen problems with the Subarus in terms of, well, there's been some problems with the in-car electronics. There's also been some problems with steering and suspension. Acura has improved. They introduced several new transmissions with the new transmission technology, 8-speed, 9-speed, dual clutch automatics. They seem to have gotten some of those problems out. Nissan continues to be mid-pack. And Chevrolet has improved, but still those trucks are hurting them. Ford has pretty much stayed on track. Again, what's really plaguing Ford is not so much the My Ford Touch systems anymore, because as we say, switched over to Sync 3, which is far less problematic than My Ford Touch ever has been. But they are hurt by some of the new transmission technologies. So the Ford Focus and the Ford Fiesta, both with the dual clutch automatics, continue to be problematic and really hurting the brand. And then moving on to the less reliable vehicles. So Volvo was really hurt by the XC90, the newest Volvo in the fleet. The older Volvos still continue to be average or better. It's just the brand new design has hurt them. Volkswagen has taken a tumble. Some new infotainment systems, along with a host of new engines that they've introduced, the 1.4 and the 1.8 turbo. At the very bottom, Fiat Chrysler continues to be at the bottom. We have seen some improvements. We've talked about the 9-speed automatic that they had a lot of problems with. It is still problematic, not quite to the extent, but it wasn't enough to really bring them off the bottom of the list. There's a new entry. So as we go through here, I talk about what's gone up and what's gone down. Tesla hasn't gone up or down because we've never actually had Tesla on the list. We will not put any manufacturer on the list or brand on the list unless we have at least 2 products. Now we have 2 products from Tesla. We have the Model S and the Model X. Combining those two, it's just above Fiat Chrysler. What happened with Tesla? Well, it's this car, the Tesla Model X. So it probably won't be earth-shattering, shaking news that there were some problems with the Falcon Wing doors. So what these are is these actual words that come from owners of these vehicles. So this is some examples of the problems that we've seen with the Tesla Model X. Right here, Falcon doors keep getting stuck, closed but unlatched, trapping people inside. That's not good for a $120,000 car. Fails with the slightest bit of slush or ice. Not a big surprise when you have to kind of crush the ice to get the doors open. Tesla's fixes only work a few weeks. Exterior panels not aligned properly. Car fails to wake up when the keys are activated. Doors will not open. All not good things.
Briefly, I noticed that the Fiat Chrysler are at the bottom of the list, and why is that?
Well, we'd have to ask Fiat and Chrysler why they're having troubles. But Fiat and the Chrysler vehicles have always been a bit problematic. Mm-hmm. Even the ones that have been based off the Mercedes-Benz platforms, and even at the time, Mercedes-Benz was not a very reliable auto manufacturer. With now building platforms under Fiat ownership, I mean, again, we have Fiat, which is not really known for quality.
What are some of the things that maybe the big 3 makers should focus on?
Well, it's being more conservative with the redesigns. When you introduce a new vehicle, you could carry over the powertrain or introduce powertrain changes the year after. A very conservative approach to putting out technology, you have the opportunity to do a lot better. Do not change everything at one time.
Meanwhile, Dodge, Chrysler, Fiat, and Ram are the least reliable brands, according to the Consumer Reports study. Reporting from downtown Detroit, I'm Jason Rzucidlo for AmericaJR.com.